Everybody, welcome to Creative Chess channel, and today I'm going to speak about the rooks, mostly in middle game. First we'll start with a game played between Larson and Tal in 1973 in Leningrad. Let's have a look closer at this position. If it was white to move, they would definitely play e4. Their idea would be after e4 to exchange the knights and to get equality. But it's black to move, and Mikhail Tal found a very nice move, rook a to d8. Speaking about the rooks, we should speak about open files. If there are some open files, definitely rooks should occupy open files and fight for them. But in this case, there are no open files, and Tal makes a very interesting and sly move, rook a to d8. Why to d8? Why not, for example, to c8 or e8? So his idea is that if now white plays e4, then he would retreat, and if white had the same plan with exchanging, in this case, not the pawn would take the queen, of course, but the rook. And have a look, this pawn is very weak, and black is going to play for this pawn, for winning the pawn. Yeah, that is the idea. That's why after rook a to d8, white played king to g1 to avoid the pin, and black went on with e5. Took, and queen to c4. But we all know that Michael Tal wanted to play only with queens, and he was much stronger with queens than without. That's why he refused. He's planning actually to attack white king. White here was very greedy, guys. Look at him. He's going to capture a7 pawn, but never do it. You see that he's leaving his king alone to Michael Tal, not to me, not to somebody else, but to Mikhail Tal. And of course, Mikhail Tal didn't pay any attention to these pawns. He just started creating some threats on the king's side. Before, Tal didn't react. He's calm, quiet, and is going to attack. Even here, he's not going to take this pawn. He doesn't need it. He is attacking f2 square. f3, and queen goes to h3. Now you see we are attacking the pawn. If we take it, so the black's position would be much better. It would be actually already winning. That's why white protects the pawn with the queen. And now what to do? Tal plays a very interesting move, again with the rook. Rook goes to f5. What is the idea behind? We'll see in a second. Because white is going on with their greedy plan of taking everything, probably they would promote the pawn, but Tal plays rook to e5. So now it's clear why rook came not from this side, though it might be possible, but from exactly on e5 it should stand, because it's not only attacking e2 pawn, but it's at the same time it's standing on the way of the queen. So now the queen is not protecting the g3 pawn. e4 was played, but already you see black's dream became true, and the king is alone. Yes, white's pawn is very close to its happiness, but unfortunately for white, they're just losing, and after queen f2, white resigned. So here, rook to d8 to d8 was very nice, and after that, always rook moves, like rook f5, rook e5, so attacking, making a lot of pressure on white's king afterwards was very interesting. So next game which I want to show you, it's quite a short game. So with black played Fischer. He was playing black, and it's his name against Byrne, played in 1963. It's quite a popular, famous game. Here was white to move. And here was white was thinking where to put the rooks, because you see rooks are standing nearly in the initial positions. so a1, f1, so where to move. And white decided carelessly to play quite a seemingly normal move, rook to d1. So what's the deal? I think some of us would play like that, so because, okay, so why not? But Fischer noticed that after rook leaves f1 square, so this pawn on f2 became very weak. So that's why he immediately plays knight to d3, and after queen goes to c2, it turns out that it's already possible to sacrifice the knight. Baron took, and knight goes to g4. King g1 takes, queen d2. Yeah, notice please that he is taking not the rook, but the bishop, which is protecting the king. And here comes d4. D4 is opening the diagonal for the bishop, and after check, queen enters the game with d7, and it's almost no protection here because the queen is going to h3. You see the rook prevents white king from running away, so that's why you see after several moves, actually after a very beautiful rook e1 and bishop to e4, white just resigned. So already threatening checkmate, and the queen can't take the bishop because of the same checkmate. Again, you see here probably white was playing quite usual. Yes, he wasn't thinking that sacrifice is possible here, but he should have left the bishop, the rook on this f1 square, and it would be much better than to give f2 square for the black knight and give the black the possibility to attack. Okay, and the last game I want to show you, it's the game between Spassky and Lyubovich, played in 1979. Boris Spassky was playing white and played a very interesting move. So where to put the rook? So guys, you must stop the video, by the way, try to find the Spassky move yourself, and I will tell you the answer now. So white played rook h to b1. White decided to play on the queen side with maybe a4 and then penetrate into the black's camp. And at the same time, instead of playing rook h to b8, which would be very logical, black, I don't know why, played rook a to b8. It's quite a strange move, because of course it's clear that white is going to play on this side of the board. Probably they wanted just to put the rook here on c8, maybe to attack c3 pawn, who knows. Actually, bishop went to c5, rook c8, and bishop d6. You see, we are attacking the rook. The rook has to go to b7, and now what we wanted to play is a4. Knight goes to d8, ab, b, and king d2 was played. So we are protecting c3 pawn, but you see that now white's rook have a file, open file, and they can go, for example, to a6 and b, so create some threats on d6 square if they need this, or just try to attack b5. f6, but of course we don't react, play d4, knight goes to f7. We need this bishop, of course we can't allow it to be taken. Exchanges, and the knight goes to h6. You see that bishop is much more powerful here than the knight. The knight is jumping, tries to find good squares for it, but rook a5. You see it's a weak pawn, white is attacking it. King goes to d3, there is nowhere to hurry. Bishop c5, the pawn is under attack, but still you can protect it. So what to do? Rook a6, rook c8, and the king goes. So the idea maybe to penetrate into the blacks on the black side of the board and take some pawns. Okay, but after king f4, h6 was played, so here we were prevented from penetrating. That's why king decided to retreat, g5, and rook b to a1. Rook c8, and here was a very nice tactical move. You may also try, guys, to find it yourself, by the way. It's very beautiful tactical idea here. And this idea is rook e6. Rook e6. Rook goes to c5. So why not to take the rook? Of course, it's the first idea which come to our heads. But here, unfortunately, for black is check. They have to retreat and we can take the knight. Yes, we lack the piece, the exchange, but you see we can take first of all the pawn, maybe one more pawn, but it's even not the threat, but the threat is just that we are going maybe to put our bishop on b4 and then just to push pawns and try to win them, to promote them. So then that's why in this position after rook e6, black decided not to take the rook but play bishop to rook to c5. But okay, king took, and after rook h6, black resigned here. Why? Because you see that pawns are coming and the rooks are very active. This rook is doing nothing actually. This is a very good rook, and this rook is also, it works in several directions, so it's also very, very strong. And of course, white is winning here. Okay, guys, you see that it's very important to find the correct file for your rook, to occupy the right squares. But what is right and what is wrong, you need to think. Yes, it depends on the position, and but it's really, really very important. So, guys, thanks a lot for watching me. See you in my next videos, and bye-bye.